Thanks for joining me again. Today I have another episode of my Writer's Toolkit for you. I'm actually going to share with you a writing reference book. I love books that writing advice. I have several that are my go-to. I have some that I've purchased that I just don't care. So I'm going to share one today that I do think is worth checking out. It does have some pros and some cons, so I will always share that. And again, these writing tools, when I share these, they're kind of personal as far as my review of them, how that they've helped me. So if I share something and I don't particularly care for an aspect of it, or I absolutely love an aspect of it, it may be different for you because we're all different and we all take in ideas, we all learn in different ways. So please keep that in mind when I'm doing the book reviews for the writing reference books. So the one that I want to talk with you today is this lovely Book in a Month, the foolproof system for writing a novel in 30 days. So this is a cute little book. It's pretty thick. What initially grabbed me about this book really wasn't the book in a month concept, because if you do National Novel Writing Month and that sort of thing, then you probably know about that. So what kind of struck me about this book was that it's kind of a workbook style, and I like workbook style. Now, I don't always write in them. Sometimes I will copy the page and use them, especially if it's something that I think I'm going to use in the future. This book is designed with the idea that you do write in it, and that you purchase a new book each and every time you want to write a book in a month. So that's a great concept. And if you find this helpful for you, it's definitely going to help that writer out, because you're going to be buying multiple copies of this book. I'm just going to go right into the very first thing that I both love and dislike about this book, and it's the same page. Okay, so to the back, you kind of have the reference. And so you have all of your worksheets, and they're divided out by weeks, week 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it makes it pretty easy to know what worksheet you're going to be filling out that week. There's a writing time tracker, there's a goal tracker, there's a contract to yourself to finish the book in a month, story idea map, characters, settings, scene card, breakdowns, and I love that. I mean, I did find this a very helpful way. I did use this for one of my drafts, and I found it helpful. Now, I copied the pages because, hello, let's look at this. I don't know about you, but my handwriting has a lot of trouble fitting in those little boxes. So when I copied it, which wasn't ideal either, because you can see that this book is not a full-size page and I didn't scale it up or down. So I was kind of like writing all over the place, and then I punched holes and put them in a binder. And I did like that. I liked the character story sketch in here. It gets pretty detailed, going over, having a place for you to fill out all the information that you could need about your character. It is divided up into days and to weeks. So each day, like this is day 6, it'll have a quote, it'll have your objectives, keep writing, balance your backstory, your worksheet, instructions on how to fill it out. Day 7, for instance, you're going to be completing the plot hole checklist and the character hole checklist, so you can see right away if there are any problems in your story. Then there's going to be a checklist of the plot holes that you're going to be looking for. And so as you progress through the book, this is how it is divided out. It does follow the Act 1, 2, and 3. Or if you've just started writing, then that's a great place to start with a 3-act structure. So, for instance, on page 188, they have this little thing where you're mapping out your hero's story compass, attains a goal, abandons a goal, gives up, tries but fails again to achieve the goal. So these are great, helping you to plot your story and mind your characters' motivations. It also has a great way to help you build in your foreshadowing as you go along. I love that that is all presented in this book, and it has a great formula. I did find it very helpful. Probably one of the issues that I did run into, I recommend that if you are going to really follow this book, if you are going to start to finish it and write a book in a month following this outline, take time to really read through the entire book before you get started. Don't just kind of jump right in and go with it as I do. That I did find a little problematic about this book is if you don't sit down and take that time to read this before you get started, read it through, you may get to a point in the book where it is saying that you should be such and such far along, but you haven't written that, because it doesn't specifically say today you need to write the first act of the book. For me, there was a point at which I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't written this yet, and yet it appears that I should have. I'm behind. So I had to kind of do a catch-up thing. From that point on, I looked ahead in the book and I was much more aware of staying on track. This is a book by Victoria Lynn Smith. So it has stickers and you can actually put the title of your book on here. And this is made to be a reference so that you're filling it out. When you need to refer to something in your writing, you have kind of a paper copy if you can fit your handwriting into those boxes and be able to read it. Overall, I am happy with this book. I have used it once, start to finish. And what I do now is I kind of take the aspects of it that worked for me and apply that. For instance, some of the questions and the trackers that I find helpful, I duplicated that in my Scrivener file, save it, and so that when I have a new character that I want to fill out, I'm just going to use that particular Scrivener file and use that to work my character profiles over. There are a lot of aspects to this book. If you are a first-time writer and you're just getting started and you really need kind of some structure and something to keep you on track, this book could be very helpful. Do read it start to finish before you get going. That is my Writer's Toolkit. Do you have a book, a tool, an app that has been particularly helpful for you in your writing? If so, please share it in the comments below. That's all I have for you today.